Hello, this is Karen Squires with Stampin' by the Bay, and today we're going to go ahead and make this with the Sympathy card. All right, we're going to go ahead and start off with this piece of Sahara Sand. This piece of Sahara Sand is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my hardwood stamp set and my Misty. I'm going to go ahead and ink and round the edges, the corners, and I'm going to use my Crocodile. It's a corner chopper, and I use the 1/2 inch. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a 1/4 of an inch and a 1/2 of an inch, and you just use the 1/2 inch facing up. Make sure it's opened up completely, and you put it in there even, and you just chomp down. All right. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and sponge the sky. This piece for the sponge, this is my scrap sponging paper. We're going to go ahead and sponge the front, the main image, and this piece is Wistful White, and it is 3 3/4 by 3 inches. And I'm going to first start with punching. You take the Post-it note and you use the 1 1/4 inch circle punch, and you can punch out a circle. Okay, so I have a circle, and we're going to use that, as well as sponge the top first with some So Saffron, because we want to add a little bit of that yellow to the sun first. So we're going to go ahead and take my So Saffron ink sponge and sponge the top. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the Post-it note here, and I put it off to the side. Alright, and you can figure out how far you want to go down. And I'm going to go ahead and sponge just a little bit more. Then I'm going to take the pumpkin pie ink and the sponge for that, and I'm going to go back over and sponge, and I'm going to mess with this edge here first, because I would like that edge to be a little darker. If you want, you can cover this up a little bit. Lost Lagoon. This is the stamp from the Timeless Textures. It's the new stamp in the spring catalog. I think it's going to be kind of like the Gorgeous Grunge. It has some nice stamps that you can use so multi-purpose. And for some reason, I'm addicted to using it for as water. I just think I love the lines it makes. It makes it look like white caps in the water. But maybe that's just me. You can, to make it the lines pop a little bit more after you've sponged it, you can just add a little bit more of the Lost Lagoon across. Okay. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the bottom with the Old Olive. We use the Old Olive at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and use the other Timeless Texture stamp, which is the dots. I'm going to ink it up with the Old Olive and just use the heavy one at the top. And you can layer it several times. Alright. If you wanted to, you could take the sponge and blend it in a little bit. Okay, next I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow and I'm going to use this tree stamp. I can't remember. I know it's Silhouettes. I can't remember the name of it. But I'm going to use Mossy Meadow ink and I'm going to stamp it right here at the bottom. And I chose the Mossy Meadow just because it was darker than the Old Olive, but it would also, you know, not quite look like a silhouette, but yes, it would. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could take your Mossy Meadow stamp and you could like sponge in a little bit on the bottom to add. Inside I pulled out this Love and Sympathy stamp set. I think this one is retired. I think it retired last, but I like the saying inside, so I keep it. We're going to stamp it with the Lost Lagoon. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. Oh, actually, I'm going to punch corner around the bottom again with the 1/2 inch corner. Okay, now I can put that aside. We're going to go ahead and use this strip of Lost Lagoon, and it's 3.25 inches wide. And I'm going to use the hexagon punch. You could try to use the banner punch if you want, but since it's not a 1/2 inch and it's not quite the 1 inch, it might not quite fit in there evenly. So I just use the hexagon punch, and you just kind of line it up. Try to center it. All right. And I think I'm going to have to cut some of this off, but that's fine. And this is a little circle punch that I had from Biddy. It was a Biddy pack they had, and it's not quite 3/4, or I think it's 3/8 of an inch circle. So it's not quite a 1/2 inch, and it's not a 1/4 inch, so it's like right in between. So if you want to add those, you can, but you don't have to. So there you have it. That's the simple sympathy card that I think will work for man or woman. You know, I usually like flowers for sympathy cards, but I think this is very nice. To me, it's I think it looks peaceful. So, you know, that's what you would want to wish someone that has gone through a loss, is some peace. All right. Again, thank you for watching. This is Karen Squires with Stampin' by the Bay.